Hey guys, I have another painting for you. This time we'll be talking about complementary colors and using a fan brush. So if you're ready to paint, grab your tools. We're painting carrots. Today I'm using this set of 18 colors of acrylic paint. With your masking tape, just get a piece that will cover the size, the whole width of that piece of cardboard. And I'm kind of lining it up where the frame would have been. And I'll pull that back out and just continue that over here. And I'm going to do my background in a very, very dark blue. So I'm going to put out some Mars Black. And Phthalo Blue. So my first coat is dry, and I am going to come back in and give another coat. I now have brought a little white paint as well. So we'll get our background nice and blue. Pick up a large piece of that blue, and I'm just going to glob it on. You know how I feel about globbed paint. I'm not a fan, right? But in this case, we need a lot of paint to coat and make this cardboard feel more like canvas. And that's just gonna be layered paint. So pick up all that blue. And again, the cardboard absorbs the paint, so it's seeping through much quicker than a canvas does. And I'm gonna cut into that white, and we're just going to brighten up our blue. And I love phthalo blue and white. It really almost starts to get like a neon blue. Okay, so I am brushing in every direction, and right now I'm going to do a cross, little X's all across the entire canvas or piece of cardboard, and I'm just flipping and really just making the letter X. And we're going to let that dry. Okay, now we're going to sketch onto our background that we've just created in these dark blues. And the reason I chose this very dark blue is we're painting carrots, and on a color wheel, the blue is across from the orange, and so they are complementary colors. And I thought that the dark blue with this carrot orange was very dramatic, and that's what we're going for. Okay, but we're going to sketch in light blue. So I have a little tiny bit of blue on my palette here and a little bit of white, and I'm going to mix up a very, very light blue. And again, you want to lay off some of that paint. You want very, very little paint on your brush. I am using an angled brush for sketching, and the carrot is tubular. It's so I'm actually going to start with just a circle, and I'm going to put 3 carrots on here. So I'm going to do 3 circles, 3 carrots, and then the carrot will come down carrots are so interesting looking when they grow. Now they're never just like a straight triangle. They just do their own thing. And that's what we're gonna try and show is the uniqueness of these 3 carrots. And that's it. That is our carrot. So we're going to let that dry completely. We are not going to use green paint. We are going to make our own green, and we're going to go for a real dramatic paint color. So we're going to use that Mars black, and I'm going to put the stems from those carrots in black. You're not going to be able to see it very well because we used a lot of black and blue in our background, but you'll be able to, you'll know where it is. So we're just going to put these long stems coming out. We'll have that one come down a little bit. And we're going to go back over these with our fan brush, but we're just going to kind of put some dark paint in here where we want those dramatic leaves. We're going to be using a wet on wet technique. That is dry already, so we are ready to bring in our oranges. So we are going to bring out orange, brilliant red, and the medium yellow. For shadowing, we're going to use, not that one, we're going to use some burnt sienna. So those will be the colors, and then of course white. So we're going to first give our carrots a coat of just solid orange. Doesn't that orange look pretty already on that deep blue background? Okay, so now our carrots are orange, and I am going to lay out the brilliant red, just a little tiny bit. You can see we didn't use all that orange, and the burnt sienna, which is a really dark kind of brown orange, and the medium yellow. Now we are going to shade one side of the carrots dark and one side of the carrots lighter. So I'm going to take the darkest color first. And I'm going to go down at the root of each of them, here where the stem comes out. and down one side. And then we're going to dip into our brilliant red, kind of mix it in with that. And we're going to do the same thing, just deepening up one side of that carrot. And we'll wash that brush off. And we'll take that medium yellow. Put a little orange in with it. Ooh, that's and we'll brush this on the other side. Okay, so now we're going to highlight, and we're going to bring that over here and get some of this white and get a real light color. So this is the yellow, the orange, and the white together. And this is going to kind of detail, so we'll just bring kind of like those ridges. We're just kind of dragging it through, and it's not a whole lot of paint on my brush. And we'll let that set up a little bit and dry. It won't take very long at all. And we're just going to keep repeating this and layering our dark on one side and our light on the other, and then we're just softening. So we're going to go back over the dark side. So we're going to just do the brilliant red and that orange. Make it this bright tomato red color. And we'll use that to highlight this side of that carrot. Okay, so I brought the yellow in, and we're gonna just bring that down the middle. And you can see with each layer of paint, it gets a little thicker. Now, remember in our background, we did those crisscross shapes, And in our carrot, we're going side to side. So we're actually using the paint strokes, the ridges that the paint is leaving, as our texture on our carrot. And a little bit lighter. Just blending those colors again so we don't have a ridge or you know, a line where one color starts. You can't really tell. We don't want anyone to tell exactly where our yellows went and where the reds went. We want them to appear that the carrot is circular and that we're seeing that the light is coming from this side shining, and that's why this side of each carrot is just a little lighter. Okay, so we have a nice, good start on our orange carrots. I'm gonna wash this brush, and this next part, we're going to work very, very quickly. We are going to put a fresh little pile of the Mars Black, and now we're going to use that lemon yellow. So lemon yellow as opposed to medium yellow, they're pretty close. I mean, boy, that looks identical except for the writing. This says medium yellow and this says lemon yellow. Medium yellow is closer to the orange and lemon yellow is closer to the green. Okay, so we are going to have a pile of black and a pile of lemon yellow. Now we're going to work quickly because we do not want any of these paints to dry before we touch it with the next color. And what we're going to use is that same small angled brush. And I'm getting off all the extra moisture. I'm gonna go ahead and pinch and pull slightly, and that helps to reshape my brush so I can get a nice little line. Okay, and I'm going to start with the black. So I'm going to just get a little paint on here. And I'm gonna start with my first carrot over here, and I'm gonna go right over those pull lines, and I'm gonna dip into the yellow, and I'm gonna pull it right through the black. And you can see that it doesn't really stay as yellow or black. It starts to magically get this really nice, vibrant green. And that's what I wanted to do. So again, I'm gonna go back into the black, and I'm gonna pull those lines, a little more paint on there. Pull those lines up rather quickly, dip it right into the yellow, pull that through the black. And then I'm using the edge of this flat brush to just make little they're like little seeds of rice. And it's just a little pull, 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 pull. Okay, again, back into the black. And you can go right over what you just did, because it'll just make it a little bit more dramatic. And then into the yellow, right through those black lines. And those little, like the shape of a rice, or just the end of the brush kind of dabbing it down. And you can see the black will very, very quickly eat up all that yellow. If you brush over it too many times, you won't have any yellow showing. Okay, so now I'm going to switch brushes, and I'm going to get that fan brush, and I'm going to do the very same thing that I just did, only now I'm going to do it with the fan brush. So I'm going to start on this carrot over here, and I want to show you over here, I'm going to dip just the side of my fan brush. And you want to kind of get the paint off because you don't want a lot of paint on here. But what we're going for is this kind of like spastic or pattern where it's just dabbing and it doesn't have the repetitive, the same stroke over and over. So that's plenty. That's what you want. You want just a little bit of paint. You want to dab a couple times and let's go. And you're turning it different which ways, and then I'm going to dip into the yellow and go right over those. And we'll do it again. Black and yellow. Black and yellow. And you turn that brush different which ways to get the texture that you want coming through. And go back into the yellow. And that gives us a nice kind of a carrot, those kind of carrot tops up there. And we have our little liner brush, and I'm going to dip into the pure white and back down into that orange. We might need some new oranges going. Okay, so now we have a kind of a green and orange mixture. We're gonna lay that off, and I'm just gonna bring that in. So it's got a little green to it, which is good because we're bridging in what we have up top. And I'm just kind of doing those ridges, and you can see that we already had all these colors are already in the painting. This is just bridging and making those ridges a little more defined. And we'll do the same up here, but we're going to warm it up a little bit for the second carrot, so just a little more orange. Just a little bit because it's one over from the light. So we're imagining that our light is coming this way. Okay, so the next carrot, we'll just, again, using that mixture that has the green and the whites and the yellow and the orange, and it has all of them, and we're just putting the ridges of our carrots in there. And let's add a little more orange into it. And pull those through. And we're just making these little lines on the edge of the carrot. You know how the side of a carrot is until you peel it, it has all those ridges. Okay, I'm going to wash that brush off, and I'm going to dip into the pure white, which I have a little tiny bit of it left over here. You can get fresh white out if you don't have pure white, but we're going to use pure white on this particular one. And I am just going to take a little bit of that and drop it down the center in little lines of the carrot as if it's glistening in the light. And this is why you do not want a lot of paint on that brush. So there's just that light reflection down the center of the carrot, and I'll put a little bit down on this one. Okay, so there we have carrots. Let's see what it looks like under the map. I think we're going to be very happy with that. Is the inspiration. We're painting carrots.